We are going to talk with Matthias Kranebitter. He's here online from Vienna. Hello, Matthias.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you? It's pretty dark there compared with Barcelona. It's no, I mean
Yeah,
the weather. It's yeah.
it's night already. Yeah.
Yeah. So you are the artistic director of the Black Page Orchestra. You are a group selected in the open call, MIxtur open call, and you will be offering a concert here in April 4.
First.
First, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't change
I
the
hope so. We
dates.
moved it
Yeah.
for this day, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And so we would like you to explain us how the program and the concert itself and what is this Black Page Orchestra. But I think before we explain a little bit more, we can see a video of one of the pieces you are going to play here. A small fragment of the piece that is Professor Bad Trip by Romitelli. We are going to see a small fragment and just go back with you and talk about this.
So we have a fragment of the piece. Matthias, can you explain a little bit about the program that you are presented in the festival?
Yeah. So this piece, what we just listened to, the Fausto Romitelli, is also going to be in the program. In fact, it's a exception in all our repertoire because it's the only piece from 20th century. I think we so far performed. So normally we are really focusing on the youngest generation of composers, which is the generation born around 1980 or younger even. And in the program we will also take this Fausto Romitelli because it's a classic piece and it also goes in our aesthetical direction. The example you showed now was a performance from last September at the Unsafe and Sounds Festival here in Vienna, and we did it together with a visual artist and artists who did stage design to make the whole experience visually and acoustically interesting. It was performed in a venue which never ever had contemporary music concert before, so it was a completely new thing to do it in this industrial area in Vienna, and I think it worked really good. The people were not sitting there in a concert, they were standing. I don't know if it was possible in this part of the video you showed that some of the people who didn't have the concentration to listen to all the concert went out, could go back, have drinks or whatever. So it was this concept of a different approach in dealing with the audience. And so more about the program, what we are going to do in MIxtur is also, there is a piece by Alexander Schubert, Point Ones, which is a very important piece for our ensemble because it was in the very first concert we did in 2014, where the ensemble was basically found. We invited Alexander Schubert to Vienna, and we had this performance of Point Ones. It's a great piece by him where probably some of the people may know it, where the conductor is using this sensor technique and triggering the electronic sounds with his movements. So it's also very visual. It's in a way it focuses on new technology, and it's from the music aesthetic. It's a very it's a dense and intense piece, and we like to perform it. So it's together. Shall I talk about every piece, or you have some questions so far? Sorry.
No, I think it's good because some of the composer maybe the people don't know, and it's good if it's okay for you to speak. Like you are now doing the introduction as a short introduction about every piece. I think is good.
Yeah. So then another piece is from the composer Mirela Ivicevic. She's a Croatian composer living in Vienna, and we also had a close collaboration with her in the past. Last year we performed a portrait concert of her in the Vienna Radio Kulturhaus, and in fact this piece what we are going to play is the commission from the ORF radio, which was especially composed for our ensemble. So it's a very close collaborative work with also the musicians from our group, and that's the piece Case Black. And then there is one piece of a Catalan composer, Nuno Fernandez Esquerra, whom I didn't know before, but fortunately you recommended me a couple of composers, and I think it's a really great piece, and it will fit perfectly in our aesthetics and in our concert. And one piece of mine, which is called the Concerto for the Invisible Hand, the Invisible Hand after Adam Smith theory on capitalism from the 17th century, 18th century, I don't know exactly. I could talk a lot about this piece, but probably I don't know if you want to go into more the details or more about the whole idea of the ensemble and the
actually
aesthetics.
Yeah, I think, and that's it. I think, I saw the program. So, I don't know, Mila, you have one question?
No, I would like to, if you can explain more about Black Page Orchestra itself. And you say it was founded on 2014.
2014, so it's a pretty young ensemble, maybe the youngest ensemble in Austria, I don't know. But it was for us, I was one of the founders, and there are a couple of also of the musicians are composers. And we had we felt the necessity of building an ensemble which is really focusing on this kind of music. As I already mentioned, for example, Alexander Schubert, we were the first one who invited him to Austria. He was, I think, already pretty well known in Germany and other countries. And we did 2014 this piece Point Ones, as well as his piece for singer and electric guitar, Your Fox at Dirty Gold. And this was the first time he was invited to Austria, and later on even the Klangforum also played a piece of him, I think last year or 2 years ago. So for us it is, of course, one aspect is this new technology aspect, which is kind of in the air. I mean, we are this young generation surrounded by all this. We have to deal with this in everyday context. So it's of course a focus for contemporary art. We also the name, maybe I can explain from the name. The Black Page is a piece by Frank Zappa. So that's also already a statement that we take Frank Zappa as one of the references who is in the field between more wider other kind of musical context than just contemporary. I mean, he works a lot as well in contemporary music field. And the Black Page is a piece which is so full of notes that the piece of paper where it's written on already looks like a black page. So, and this is an aesthetical statement. We like very energetic, very dense music, and it was, in a way, it was a coincidence that the first concert we did in 2014 was already programmed with the pieces. We had Alexander Schubert, we had a piece of mine of Hikari Kiyama, a Japanese composer, and then with all these pieces, we didn't have yet a name for the ensemble, and I was thinking of okay, something which is here, which links all these, of course, different pieces, but they have something in common. Was this approach of a very dense and very intense music. So the black page really fitted very well. This doesn't mean that we are just playing pieces with at least I don't know 100 notes per measure, but we are it was a kind of at that point a good reference to what we were aiming for.
Yeah. And for another hand, also you will participate in a round table that we are doing during the festival, as also director of a festival that you are running in Austria. Can you speak a little bit about the festival? Only to introduce that the round table will be Graham Mackenzie, also a director from Huddersfield. Will be Christian Winter.
He's coming.
Yes, he knows. Christian Winter from Clown Festival in Denmark. We have Matthias Kranebitter. So maybe you can explain a little bit about the festival.
So the festival, that's in fact the festival where we showed the video just before, from the Romitelli was performed there, and it's called Unsafe and Sounds, and it's a festival where I try to link the contemporary music with different experimental electronics music, with different also artists, completely other artistic fields. We had exhibitions in the last years. We had performances more from the theater, and the idea is a kind of mixture of different sceneries and linking together. That's also why we decided to perform in this not typical venues for contemporary music. So that's why we choose the Arena Wien, where this Romitelli was performed. Although we know that due to this circumstance, we will have lots of difficulties because they are not used to have people more than 2 hours before the show making a sound check. And for us, of course, it was necessary with a group of 10 people to have a little bit more time. And all this you figure out during the process. But so the idea of this festival, which exists also since 2014, is very much this of experimental music, but from all different fields, to bring people together, to exchange, and to create completely, to grow something out of this, lots of creativity from different points.